I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things that are very important for men. This is something that you're going to have to understand is essential that you start including all your thoughts to surround what I'm about to tell you. Now, I want to read a couple of definitions to you. We're going to be talking about selfishness and conceit. These are two of the most important traits that a man can have. And those are the main two traits that the feminists or the feminism in the United States over the past 30, 40 years have actually bred out of men. Feminists, once they got their foot in the door, they wanted a new version of man. They wanted a man that fit their description of what a man should be. Regardless of what a man is, women believe that a man should be what they think. And I guess they have a point to an extent. But let me read something to you. First, let's go with selfish. Selfishness, I think, is a basic trait that men grow up with during childhood, during their early adolescence, early childhood through their adolescence. It develops. And how the selfishness develop is that boys, toys, this is mine. This is mine. They want things to be theirs. They just want it. They develop a possessiveness about them that they carry on through their adulthood. And slowly but surely it becomes a form of selfishness. But now, the dictionary says selfishness, selfishness is being fully concerned with your own interests, your own needs and wishes while you ignore those of others. Or it's like showing that personal needs and wishes are thought to be like more important than someone else's. Now, conceit is having a high opinion of yourself, of your own qualities, of your own abilities. In most cases, it's not really justified. Conceit. Now, what I want you to understand about these two words, we're going to talk about them separately, but these two words go hand in hand with manhood. Now, like I said, over the past 30, 40 years, these traits have been bred out of men, and we are suffering today because of it. Now let's talk about selfishness. Do you know any successful businessman that is not consumed by his business? Do you know any successful businesswoman who's not consumed by her business? Do you know any successful person in the world, totally successful, that is not consumed by their business? Now, let's take a professional trainer, male or female. Everything they do is about their business. Even when they're not helping someone exercise, they're making sure their calories is right. They're making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do in order to be the trainer that they're claiming to be. The more proficient they are at it, getting people to understand the benefits of training, the better their clientele will be. They're going to build their business. Now, This person would not be anywhere near the success he's trying to achieve if he was not selfish. Now, everything he thinks, everything he does has a direct reflection on his business. Our business is gaining manhood, getting a firm base to be a man. This is our business. And if we're not thinking about it 24/7, 365, if we're not doing that, we're not going to be successful at it. We're going to be like the person that almost made it if we're not continually thinking about being selfish. The only difference in what we're doing and a businessman does is that we're doing this internally. It's all internally. A businessman wants it to be external so he can make his business. This is internally for us, for our mentality. Once it takes hold in our mentality, then it will show externally. But we have to develop it inside first. You have to believe that you're important enough to be selfish. Because that's what the businessman that achieves success does. He believes that he should have it. He also wants it, so he's going to go for it. Now, in relating this to you, you want manhood. You want a strong basis, so you want to be able to touch what you're thinking. And you cannot do that if you're not selfish. I don't mean touch it, feel it physically, but you want to touch it in a mental, which is physical in a way. But what I'm saying is you want to be able to understand the selfishness that you're developing and the power that you're going to have from developing it once you combined it with your conceit. First, though, we got to understand the importance of being selfish. If you want to achieve any success, if you want to go to the top of what you're trying to do, then you have to think about it all the time. You have to want to do it whenever you're doing anything. Same with being a man. If you want to be a man, the way you eat your cereal, the way you sit at the table, the way you watch TV, everything should reflect your, not necessarily masculinity, manhood, but your manhood and what you think and how you do and how you carry yourself. This is very important. It's so important that we're going to make sure you understand this before we take you any further. It's very important for you to believe that everything you think, everything you do, everything you want has a direct reflection or something to do with your manhood. This is how to be selfish. You do not want to hurt people. You do not want people not to have things. I'm not talking about that kind of selfishness. That's a childish selfishness. We're talking about being a man. And we have honed in where we want to focus our selfishness at. And our selfishness want to be focused towards thinking and doing everything a man does. Now, conceit. This is having a high regard for yourself, a high opinion of what you do or your abilities, more so thinking that you're better than everyone else. Now, the average person will have you thinking or believing that thinking you're better than everyone else is bad. It is bad if you're not better than everyone else because you're fooling yourself. What if you are better than everyone else? Then you shouldn't think it? No. See, the thing is, you should think it. Even if you're not better than everyone else, you should think it. Why? Because the only way to get there is to think it. So, you have to be conceited. You have to believe everything you're doing is right. You have to believe it. You have to believe that all the things you're doing concerning your manhood, all the things that you're trying to acquire concerning this goal of becoming a man, you got to believe it's right. Now, conceit, I mean, it can be taken several ways when people notice it. But the way you want them to take it is that it's all a part of your manhood. Now, what does conceit and selfishness add up to? See, this is the big thing that women, feminists, the American society, this is what they're actually after. See, because selfishness and conceit equals being assertive. If you have those two qualities, you're going to be an assertive person. If you're lacking those two qualities, you won't be an assertive person. See, men, original man, we were very assertive because what we want, we thought we should have it. Today, we second, third, fourth, guess, doubt ourselves with all these guesses, second guess, third guess. You second guess yourself so much till you don't even try things. This is because you have lost your selfishness and you have lost your conceit. Therefore, you are not assertive. This is what we're after. We're going to get you to be a man because you're going to reacquire your selfishness and you're going to understand how to combine them with your newly found conceit. And once you do that, you will see a new man in the mirror. You will be an assertive man. You will be a man that believes you're supposed to have what you're trying to get. That's why you're trying to have it so much. Now, right now, you've been victimized and you don't believe you should have anything. You just want a lot of things, but you don't believe you should have them. You don't even believe you should have that woman you're talking to. That's why you lie to her. That's why you do what you do when you're trying to have her and do everything but be you. It's because you have lost your confidence because it has been bred out of you. You cannot help where you're at right now. The only thing you can do and the only thing you should do is follow Steve and I. We have what you're missing, and we're trying to give it to you piece by piece so that you could understand. The only way to be a man is to know what a man consists of. We're building it for you. We're building it, and you're going to get it. Because all you have to do is think like this. Name any great businessman or woman, and I'll show you a very conceited and selfish person. Think about it like that. Do you want success, or do you want to just keep trying to be successful? No, we want to achieve success at any endeavor we choose. The endeavor we are choosing or have chosen now is to find the road to manhood.